to another episode of Scene Stealers. I'm your host, Ali Umstutz, and today we have Roger Palaski.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
This is a way for me to learn about other actors, and for you too as well, and for us to learn their experiences and things that they have done. So let's get started.
Okay, but before we do, if you don't mind, I understand that this is your birthday.
Oh, thank you.
And happy birthday.
Thanks. It says, happy birthday, Ali. Some days demand a little showing off. Your birthday is definitely one of them. Have a great one, Roger Palaski. And there's this. So before we started recording, he said I had to wear these if I was going to open it.
That's right. Birthdays, girls got to show off that it's her birthday, right?
Just gonna. Nice.
And then the other one comes off also. But you can go to your party tonight with your buttons on.
I wanted to talk about this first. With acting, you obviously need to be prepared. If you see someone like on the street, you can say, like, here's my resume. So I have my resume here, and I just got a haircut, so it's not completely up to date, but on the back, there's all of the stuff I've been in, and there's not a lot on here yet, but hopefully we can get more on there. And if we look at Roger's, there's a ton of stuff on here. This doesn't look like you.
I was wondering if you were going to get to there. That's what I normally look like. And right now I look like this because I'm in an Avondale Pictures film, The Righteous 12. And my character has a beard and a mustache. And we still have a scene to film. And it takes too long. This is not fake, so it takes too long to grow it out. But for most of my parts, it's whatever the director wants. But there's my palette. That's what I start with.
And then we'll get started with asking you questions and everything.
Okay. Can I just say I'm pretty nervous? I heard you're pretty brutal.
No, it's all fun, and I'm not rude to anybody.
Oh, also, you talk about the headshot. That's my business card, and that's probably more important to have than the headshot is, because you can carry those with you all the time.
That's a good thing for being actor, singer, artist, any of that. And you're like, oh yeah, here, have my business card. And it just makes it so much easier because you just immediately have it, you hand it to them, they have all the information they need on a little tiny card. Alright, so let's get started with the questions, yeah?
Okay, if we must.
So, what is the last thing that you do before the curtain goes up or the director calls for action?
So, by the time I'm in costume and I've been through makeup, I am in character. So it's not a matter of getting into, by the time you're in that spot, I am that person that I'm portraying. And my mindset is there. So if I'm playing in sexton in England at the start of World War I am that sexton before I even got to that spot. And so I just take a slow, deep breath, and I'm there. In my mind, I'm seeing the countryside or wherever the scenery is, and I zone out everything else around me. And I'm in that moment, ready to go.
How old were you when you first wanted to start acting?
When I was in high school, I loved being part of productions. I always wanted to be behind the scenes, wanted to be part of the crew. And when I first started, I was too nervous about being on stage. So I was always I was either doing lighting or doing sound set design, stuff like that. And my senior year, the director said, no, this year I can't use you as part of the set design team. And I was crushed. I was like, but I want to be, this is our final year. And she goes, no, you're going to be on stage. And you're going to have a co-lead part, and you're going to sing. And I was like, no, I'm not. And I did. It was a lot of fun, but I never really thought any further beyond that. and I went into the military, and then back in a few years back, about 22 years ago, I started doing out the Renaissance Fair with a group, and we're a living history organization. And then from there, I started doing other living history reenactments. And in 2014, I saw an advertisement for a film festival, short films, independent films, and I just sat there glued to watching all these movies. And I'm like, I want to do that. So I was fairly old, 2014, but I caught something that just said, you can do this, and you want to do it. And so in between breaks and stuff, I would see directors, and I would go up to people and say, hi, I'm Roger Palaski. Here's my card. I'd really like to be in your next film, or if any advice you can give me. And then I met some great guys, Kenny and Cody, and sure enough, I was an extra, but I was in their next film. I was just so excited. I was like, wow. And that same day, I was not only in their film, I was in 2 other films that same day. I went through 3 films as an extra, and I thought, wow, this is so cool. And from there, I just started, watching and looking for auditions, and so that's when it all got started. Hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah. So you mentioned being in the military, so I just want to say thank you for serving.
You're welcome.
It's really appreciated for our country. And
when I was 15, I knew that I wanted to join the military. I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and at 17, I could legally sign up, but I could not go into the military until I was 18. And then I spent the next 23 years after that working F-15s and working F-16s all over some amazing places all over the world. So, but it's funny because now I want to do acting, and when the drama teacher was trying to get me into acting, all I wanted to do was go into the military and serve my country. And that's where I stayed for 23 years.
We really do appreciate you serving, and very thankful.
You're welcome.
So you have done westerns in stage acting and film acting. So what other genres, what top 3 genres would you have that you have done or you want to do?
I haven't done horror, and I'd love to do a horror film. One of my favorite horror films is Dark Walker by Chuck Williams, and I keep joking with him that I want to be in Dark Walker too if he ever makes it. I'd love to get into a horror where I get slashed, or I'm the slasher, or even I'm a monster. I don't care.
It sounds like a lot of fun. I've never done any horror either. I can't watch horror well, so if I go and see it, I won't be able to watch it because I'll get scared.
It's funny you say that because I'm exactly the same way.
Yeah, I don't know how people can watch just horror and then immediately go to sleep after. I don't know how they do that.
Me neither.
So with being in westerns, I know there's a lot of shooting scenes with guns. Do you have any advice for actors using guns in a set, whether it's props or not?
With any movie that uses a gun, the actor needs to find somebody to take them to a gun range where it's safe, where safety precautions are followed, especially if they've never shot before. Because if I'm sitting there and I'm in a movie and I've never held a gun, 1, I don't know how to hold it, and 2, I have no reference how heavy that gun's going to be and how it reacts when I shoot it. And I'm not talking just amateur actors, I'm talking professional actors as well. They'll go into a film and be like, that they've never touched a gun before. And I wanted to start a group where I would offer to take actors to a range and show them what a gun does when it goes off, because then you have a mental reference, because a lot of stuff's done in post, okay? But people can tell the difference between someone who knows how to use a firearm and someone who doesn't. To just walk onto a set and be handed something plastic, a plastic airsoft, and then they expect you to act like you're firing it for real. If you have never done it, it's going to look like you've never done it. So that's my recommendation.
What role would you love to do if given a chance?
I would pretty much do anything. I would like the chance to do a lead role. Not specific to any genre, just somebody take a chance on me to do a lead role. That's what I would love to do.
So like a full lead and not a co-lead or anything?
Yeah, I'd like to give it a shot, And I will give you some advice, okay? Don't ever let people tell you what you can and can't do, okay? I've had people tell me that I would never be a lead actor, ever. And I don't understand how people can say stuff like that if you've never seen me perform or how I get into a character or anything like that. But my advice to you is you're starting at a great age, and don't listen to anybody else. Listen to what's here, okay, inside you, and have the confidence to do what you feel, and don't put limitations on yourself. I work for a living, regular job, okay, to pay my bills. And Sid Haig, who became a friend of mine, used to always, he'd go, "Are you ready to take that chance?" And he'd always tell me, "Take the chance." And I still haven't taken that chance, but for years, first thing he'd say when I'd come up to him is he'd say, "Where are you at?" I go, "I'm still in Phoenix." And he's like, "So you didn't take the chance." And that's probably some of the best advice coming from him and from me to you, is if this is what you want to do, if this is your dream, then follow it. And I wish I could go back to where you're at right now and say, if I knew how much I love it right now, I wish I could go back and still have that memory of how much I love it and start right now where you're at. Because seriously, if I had thought about what that director back in high school was trying to tell me, for 3 years, she saw something in me, and she forced me to do something outside of my comfort zone. And it was so awesome. But then I went through life, and I got into a different comfort zone, and I forgot what it was like being outside the comfort zone. And when I think back at Sid, who passed away, sorry about that, that's what he was trying to say. He was just saying the same thing. Get outside that comfort zone. And like I was just saying to you, don't let anybody tell you what you can't do, because people would come up to me and say, "Well, you can't do this because you don't have that look." I don't know. I've enjoyed what I've done so far, but I wish I had taken a chance sooner. And it's hard being outside of comfort zone. It really is.
Have you ever worked with child actors or babies or any animals? So do you have any interesting stories about that?
So in TR12, I had to do a scene where I'm on a horse, and I was the lead horse. Other than the owner, I was the only other person that's been on this horse. And I'd get the horse going, and this horse loved mesquite. So every time it came up onto a mesquite bush, it would stop and eat. And the director, Chuck Williams, is sitting there, "Will you get that horse moving?" And I'm like, I'm trying. But when you're on a horse for the first time, and you don't know how that horse is going to react, right? But this thing stopped every other bush it got to, and wanted to eat. And so that was kind of embarrassing. I probably will never live that down if there's a TR12 blooper reel. I'm probably going to be on it for that. I'll probably be on it for many other things too. But I did a World War II film where there were German shepherds and German soldiers. And during the film, it was so weird. These German shepherds, I mean, their teeth are like, you know. It was so funny because then later on I did some photo shoots with them. And German shepherds in general scare me. And when they're in the film and they're growling and stuff, I was like, I don't even want to be near them, right? But then when we did the photo op later, it was like these German shepherds were actors. It was like during the scene, they were playing one part, and then during the filming opportunity, they're sitting there, you know, happy old pets. And I was like, wow, that really shocked me. But, you know, I don't have an issue working with anybody, whether it's an animal or child or another adult. It's all part of the job.
Do you have any tips or tricks or anything you've ever done to get into character?
Well, I'm sure a lot of actors have their own thing. When I first started, not having any formal training or anything like that, the first thing, like one of the first roles that I auditioned for was a futuristic character called Pirate. I was reading the description of what the character was. And in my mind, I developed a backstory for this character and what he believed and what his values were and how he lived his life and what his code was or whatever. And so when I went into the audition, so they started asking me questions about my character and stuff like that. And I gave them this whole backstory. So anyways, I went through the audition and then I went into the monologue, but I did it in character. I did it as that pirate. And so the director, she's just sitting there going, she goes, you just told me things about the character that I never even thought of when I wrote the script. She goes, that was really interesting. And so, you know, she thanked me for coming in, and I was leaving the place where we were doing the audition. And then by the time I got to my car, she called me and asked me if I wanted the part. And that was my first speaking part ever. And I was like, yes, you know, sure. And then I did another film recently, and in this film, it was 1917. It was just prior to World War I, and I was a sexton. And a sexton is a grave digger. Okay, and I couldn't go off to war because I had a birth defect that made me limp. And again, this is all part of the backstory that I built for this character. And to give myself a limp during the filming, I actually put a few rocks in my left shoe, in my left foot, so that whenever I walked, I was forced to limp because I had, you know, that pushing into the bottom of my foot. And but that was my backstory. Probably what I'm saying here is if you're going to go audition, you know, anybody can go read lines. But if you don't go there with a backstory to that character, then you're not being that character. You're just reading off of a script. And so what's paid off mostly for me, and I know in my mind, why do they exist in this film? And that's how I've done my auditions. And so it's all about adding extra backstory and understanding. And then fast forward, I start Chuck Williams' master acting class. And one of the first things in the class is developing a backstory for your character. And I was like, that really is a thing. I didn't know that. Because nobody had ever told me that. That's just how, and maybe it's from the years of doing reenacting and stuff. I am that person. I have to be. Because people are coming to see you be that person. So maybe that's where I got it from. And I don't know. I have directors that keep coming back to me because I guess I do a good job, right? Hopefully. That's why they keep coming back to me. But yeah, that's how I develop a character, and that's how I get into character. But the minute I put those clothes on, I'm that person. But that's how I do it. That's pretty long-winded, huh? Sorry, didn't mean to bore you with all that, but you asked the question, I didn't.
It's not boring. It's nice to hear people's stories and be able to know like all the things that go on. And working with people, there's a lot of laughs that happen. Like I know with us recording this, I'm hoping we make a bloopers for this because it's a lot of really funny stuff. There's lots of laughs.
I enjoy this. I enjoy seeing and learning from other people. I love being someone else. Maybe I don't like my life, I don't know. But I love playing. I love the opportunity to play other people because it's opened up a whole world. I wouldn't have been in a Russian mine in my life. I wouldn't have been a Jewish rabbi in Poland or a cowboy riding a horse or some of the other things. It's been amazing. Yeah, it's been awesome. I love it. And it's just quick little tidbit to you. There are a few films that I've been in where I've actually played more than one character. And that's been fun. And you can't tell. You'd really have to really look hard.
These are all great stories, and I'm really thankful that you came out. But I think we'll do the scene now.
Good. I just want to thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure. It was better than I thought. You were pretty gentle on me. I know in the beginning I said that I was pretty nervous, so it was a lot of fun. Hopefully I didn't bore you or your audience too much, and I look forward to seeing the final output. And it's been a pleasure. And I just want to wish you a happy birthday.
Thanks.
And I want to wish you just the most awesome success in your career. If this is what you decide to do going forward, now's the time. You're in the right place, in the right state of mind, and just I look forward to seeing you just do awesome things. And if you get really famous, just remember I was here, okay? Excuse me. Hello, how are you doing?
Hey.
Can I help you with something?
Yeah, I saw this car online. I wanted to check it out. Is it still available?
I've had a few offers, but yeah, it's still available.
Can I take a look?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's in pretty good shape. Wow, the interior looks nice too.
Thank you.
Can you start it up? I'd like to hear it run.
Yeah, if you're interested, how do you intend on paying for this?
Cash. There's no worries about finances. Yeah, it sounds good.
You said cash, huh? You realize this is $20,000 car, not $2,000, correct?
Yeah. There's no leaking fluids or anything, right?
No, there's no leaks. Registration's good. Tags are current. I've kept up on the engine maintenance. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
But you did say cash.
Yeah. Unless you want digital currency instead.
I'm sorry, digital what?
Don't worry about it. Can we take it for a test drive?
Do you even have a license?
Yeah. Here. There you go.
Yeah, I don't mean to seem rude or anything like that, but
You're good.
you know, wow, you're a lot older than I thought. So sorry, you know, I apologize.
You're good.
But oh my goodness, I can't believe this. You're that actress that was just in that movie, aren't you?
Yep.
I thought you looked familiar, but then I recognized your name. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I can't believe this.
How do you think I was able to pay for this car in cash?
Wow. Hey, here's your ID. Can you wait 1 second?
Sure.
Thanks.
We're still taking it for a test drive, correct?
Yeah, but before we take it for a test drive, I've got a picture of you. I'm like one of your biggest fans. Can I get your autograph?
Sure.
Oh, this means so much to me. My friends, they're never gonna believe this. I can't believe it myself.
Hey guys, I just want to thank you all for watching this video, for staying till the end, and please remember to like and subscribe and even comment your favorite thing that we talked about. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.